How's it going, everyone? Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great week out there. Hexaco, maybe price go up at some point. Who knows when? But boy, a lot of fun things happening on PulseChain as far as do new protocols, DeFi stuff getting built out. A lot of movements on chain. A lot of interesting well stuff as far as where's the ETH, where and when will it ever happen? Thing happen. Pretty cool stuff happening there. And yeah, just in general, like there's actually stuff to talk about from time to time. So today I'll talk about a couple different things, but mostly about HEX, about the HEX token. And funny enough, we got a pretty timely tweet from Altcoin Daily that I'll riff on a little bit as well. They mentioned the HEX token recently and actually asked a good question that I think is worth talking about. So yeah, today, has the most bullish thing already happened for HEX? I think there's a case to be made for that. And I want to take you back. Oh man. All right. HEX history real quick. 2019, December 2nd, 2019, HEX launched. You had the next year or so up to a big payday. You had different things happening around there. You had the price up and down. And then you had the God candle. You had just all kinds of different amazing bullish stuff happening for HEX. And then sacrifice phases happen for PulseChain and PulseX. By the way, there's a great, if you type in RHMax price history, yeah, just RHMax price history, you'll see a great access stream during HEX week that talks like in detail for like 30-40 minutes about like all the different events happening to HEX over time. So sacrifice phase happened. HEX went up to 50, 55, 60 cents, somewhere through there. 10,000x, all that fun stuff. And then some people's like 10,000x, 8,000x, 9,000x, 10,000x, whatever. The different charts show different things. And it proceeded to, I think we went down to like, it was like 40 cents and 30 cents and it got in the 20s and then eventually like 8 or 9 cents. And then, yeah, a lot of us never thought we'd see HEX under a penny. So it went down a lot. It went down a whole lot. So, and that's HEX on Ethereum. HEX on PulseChain still down quite a bit as well, but it hasn't had its bull run yet. And a lot of people think it will. So like, why wouldn't it? Like, what is the case against any particular coin having a bull run, let alone one with a huge community, tons of people behind it? Founder, which today's birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, Richard Hart. Shout out to Richard Hart for being greatest man in crypto. A lot of people have either forgotten or yet to see. So no matter what's happening with the price, literally the entire sentiment is about the price. If you look at PulseChain, if you look at HEX, if you look at the staking and the liquidity and all the different metrics, you could end up making yourself pretty bullish. But if you look at the price, then it's like, why is it still down? Why didn't it go up? BNB just crossed like $1,300. Why isn't HEX doing another 10,000x yet? All that fun stuff. But it really is just the price that keeps people down. And again, I get it. The price is very important, right? You want to get price appreciation. You want to make profits on your investment. I get it. I think the jury is still out. I think a lot of stuff has happened in between. I think we've got a founder who is still around as much as he can be. And I think we got a lot more winning to do. So, but as far as the most bullish thing for HEX, I gotta say, the OA, the largest well in HEX, staking out 10, 15 years, however long it was, reducing inflation, what effectively became a monetary policy change in some way for HEX, similar to INC. Inflation got turned down a lot too. That was a speculation, right? It is season for price to go up. Now, it can be the season when that thing actually starts happening. Nobody knows. But I don't think it will be. I think all these are, if you really look at the pattern of these, preparation steps, all these things unfolding over time, yes, it's kind of like this interesting interesting thing between crypto, because crypto moves so fast, right? Like everyone talks about, oh, the bull market happens in 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever it is. And so that makes, again, it's like, okay, I'm a little bit nervous here. Like, are we gonna miss the bull run? Like all that stuff. But there's been a lot of things happening leading up to these times. So I feel very confident, very well prepared that that our chain is in good enough shape. We have the different integrations of pipelines, and yeah, we don't have the central exchange listings, but we have everything. We have a ton of DeFi stuff. Do we have any? Is there anything more in DeFi we could have as far as getting things from place to place? I mean, we have great services to do that. Hyperlane came online. We've got native stable coins. We've got bridges, and we've got plenty of ways to get in and out of the chain. It's just more people need to know about it. More people need to be able to want to do things like that because they become interested in it for one reason or another, whether they're looking for a DeFi place where their money can thrive over time, or they're looking to chase price appreciation, or they're just looking to rotate money they made from other protocols into HEX and PulseChain and stuff like that. So the number of gatekeeping and just the lack of support and just this like misunderstood scam thing is just, I don't know. I feel like we're doing, all things considered, I mean, I think we're doing pretty well facing all the hurdles and stuff. And we just keep pushing through. Like, it's like, nope, don't care. Still going to win. Need that t-shirt. Nope, don't care. Still going to win. And then the next one, it's like a pair. Nope, don't care. Still going to win. And then the pair that the other one says like, hey, told you we won. Hex.com. So a lot of stuff happening there. Very, very confident ecosystem, especially PulseChain. Like, I think, as we see even more protocols and things being built on HEX, and again, a huge community that a lot of people still here believing, making the stakes, talking about it. Even with PulseChain, is like, it just, the field is even bigger. I mean, there's so many different DeFi protocols that could, give you different options within the ecosystem to can do different DeFi stuff that we've covered. So much on the show over the years. We only like episode number 600 or something. So no shortage of information out there. Now, I agree with Richard when he talks about we've got everything we need, even more than we need. We just need more people to know about it. That's the marketing thing, and that's happening too. So I think that's going to bring a lot of people into PulseChain. That's going to help HEX a lot. And then, yeah, we just got to keep. I don't know. I don't know what other. I don't think I'm the only one that has a high gear as far as like willing to, push through whatever noise and not give up and win. I'm here to win. So I think that there's a ton of different ways to do that, a ton of different contributions you can make. And talking about HEX, keep talking about HEX, keep making sure people know the power of decentralized finance, cryptocurrency in general, good products, better products. Again, where can you go get yield on your money without giving your keys away? There used to be like almost no places. That's why you had Celsius and all these other things fell. And now there's a few places you can do it with validators. There's some other protocols you can do it with as well. But with HEX, again, if you believe the price will go up, not only can you make yield, but you can make a lot, hopefully make a lot more money than the original investment if you were to buy the lows and sell, or whatever you want to do, roll it into other protocols and stuff at the highs. So benefits with staking. I mean, I think the mint and burn is one of the most pivotal, innovative, fundamental pieces of decentralization. I think it is amazing. There's no protocol that needs to hold your money for these things to work. I mean, some protocols need to do certain things to facilitate more advanced stuff where some people prefer, or they're okay with certain types of centralization and otherwise. but the ability to just, minting and burning and the buy and burn, the mint and burn, all these different pieces that have came out of people innovating with protocols and DeFi. HEX is one of the kings out there, one of the first ones. I mean, the one made Uniswap popular, all those greatest hits as well. So I'm gonna get to chat, and then we're gonna move on. Not gonna be a super long stream, but I want to go through a few different things. And like I said, I'll talk about too the most bullish thing that happened. I think that it keeps going under the radar, which is the yield went way down, and I'll show you a little bit about that as well. But let me talk to chat. Kill Bill asks, how much will the price of HEX be in the end? In my opinion, a project this valuable should be worth at least $15 by now. Can someone really tell me what price we should expect? Well, it's the ecosystem of no expectations. And on top of that, I avoid making predictions. But I've said before, I want to start talking about dollar HEX. I think that there is no reason that we can't get back to all-time highs on EHEX and PX and all this stuff as well. And yeah, I think it is. I think you're right. It is really valuable. And who knows if we see $1, $2, $5, $15. What's the all-time high? Or sorry, what would 10,000X for PHEX would be like $35, $39, somewhere through there. So why not? I think it's just been, I think the red candle syndrome that is, again, there's plenty of, it's not like people are weak because they can't be patient. I don't even look at it as that. I just think of everyone looks at things in different lenses, and they have timelines that they put out there. And I try not to that's why I don't put timelines out there. Like I try not to be like, all right, it better be this price by this time. Otherwise, because why would I do that? Because I have no control over that. I'm not Godwell. I'm not the OA. I can't control the price like that, even if I wanted to. And even if they could, why would they do it for just like a pump and then get sold back down? They would want to, I would think they would want to do it in a time to add fuel to the fire where it's just helping it go up. If you want to believe that they'll help contribute to the price performance this cycle or not. So yeah, I don't know what people are expecting out there, but I tell you what, I'd be pretty happy with. I didn't talk about this the other day, maybe this week or last, but I'd be happy with HEX being a few dollars, and like either HEX. Again, I like PX the best. I think I'm in for PulseChain, so I don't want to play on Ethereum. I want to play on PulseChain. So that's the one that I'm picking for the future. And yeah, like why not? I hope it can go up to $35, $50, all that stuff too. But I'd be pretty happy with, a few dollar range. If we start seeing HEX get to, again, 10 cents and 40 cents and 80 cents, and oh my gosh, just go into $1. And then the momentum of the FOMO from there going to $1, $2, $5, I'd be pretty happy with $5 or $10 HEX. And I'd be ecstatic if we're able to do a 10,000X from the all-time lows for HEX on PulseChain, and way surpass the 10,000X for HEX on Ethereum from the all-time lows. That'd be pretty cool. So tell you what I'd be happy with, at least. Hopefully that's satisfying, and what a lot of people believe it can do. So there's I won't say the vast majority. A lot of people bought HEX not, in the last cycle when it was 30, 40 cents, somewhere through there. And a lot of people now, if you've been DCAing, your DCA price has probably brought things way, way down, especially since we've had sub penny HEX for a while as well. So hopefully everyone DCAing gets madly rewarded with that. How's it going, HEX Contractor? I think it's, if you don't think it's undervalued, like you must think it's just gonna like go to zero. There's only you either think the price, there's only two rational things I can think about when I look at HEX right now. You either think that it's on its way to zero, or it's on its way to glory. Like I maybe there's some people who think it's on its way to 10 cents, and then it's not going to do any more than that. I don't know what the case is for that. That's not a very compelling one for me, but some people probably think, oh, Hex can do at least a 10x from here, and then that's about it. I'm like, Hex does a 10x from here. I think the FOMO baby underrated at that point. DJ and Dougie, how's it going? Let's go. Nope, welcome. Happy Thursday. We're gonna rock today. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. If it has to do with the price, I wouldn't know. I've not looked. This is not a season of look at price. This is a season of hodl, for me at least. T-Rex, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Hex Ed, good to see you as well. Thank you for consistency. Like I said, one day I may not stream so much. One day I may not create as much content, and no expectations from me as well. But for a while now, I've been pretty consistently, making content and all that stuff. So pretty good. Market Cent, it's staggering how idiotic people could be. Imagine thinking Hex should be at $15. Insane. It'll never get to 20 cents again. Marcus, what would be the case against it getting to 20 cents again, let alone $15? I'd love to hear that in the chat if you've got a compelling case why that would not happen. But I think a lot of people would take the other side of that, as I explained. How I made Hex would be $30 or something, but too many Hexkin made stupid meme coins, so I sold all my Hex for them. Okay. I mean, yeah, there are plenty of meme coins that are splitting buying pressure, you may say, on the core coins, for example, which is just an effect of there being things people are interested in participating in, and they're like, oh, I'm going to bet on this because it'll do better than Hex. I believe it'll outperform Hex or Pulse or whatever it is. Best of luck. But I don't know. I think the core coins, the reason I like them more than most other things is they are the least risky. In a high risk environment, they are the least risky to me. And I think that they're great. Like they represent things that values that I agree with and I like and stuff. So I'm not interested in meme coins. I'm only interested in like a few DeFi protocols. I mean, yeah, I think the core coins represent like amazing things that I like. And yeah, if you're out there buying other coins, hoping they'll outperform, maybe some of them will. Ooh, some of them, I think history will find out that they do not. And yeah, hopefully you make some money, but not my risk appetite for the most part. Everyone puts bets here and there. I still think 90%, 9% core, 10% lottery. Yeah, that sounds fine. But just thinking that some coin is going to like definitely outperform Hex because it's newer and there's some like narrative around it. I've always been a little bit skeptical of that, no matter how much, and people can be convinced of anything, it's going to go up a lot. So again, hope it does. I hope it does, but I have more conviction, more confidence in the core coins and things kind of built around them than I do most things. Rich of Jesus Christ 1. E-Hex stronger than P-Hex. I don't know. I think a lot of people say it. I wrote a post on this too about how I'm just like, I don't want E-Hex to win and like take away from PulseChain. Like, it's not even the right way to say it. Like, I want E-Hex to do well, but I wanted to do it synergistically is the word I use, synergistically well with P-Hex and PulseChain, stuff like that. So if there's a ratio that the market decides, 3-to-1, 5-to-1, like whatever it is, then yeah, I mean, PX could do really well with that. And it may outperform at certain times. It may pump at certain times that PX doesn't do because of different liquidity situations and otherwise. But I don't want E-Hex to like just what happens if E-Hex does better than everything else over time? Like that doesn't even make any sense. Like PulseChain was invented for various reasons. Some people think for Hex. I don't particularly think it's for Hex. I think it's just an obvious move to start vertically integrating the Hexkin ecosystem type thing. But it certainly helps Hex in a lot of ways with gas fees and less, I guess you could say less censorship and just more control in an environment like that. So I hope HEX does really well, and it may pump more than PX here and there. But in the end, I want PulseChain to win. So if I want PulseChain to win, I want PX to win. So I think a lot of people have bags of HEX. That's fine. Yeah, you want your investment to do well. I'm not saying I don't have bags of HEX, but I can see I don't put my bags like, maybe it's just me. I don't put my bags like as my bag of E. If I were to have a bag of EX, I wouldn't be like, I want this to pump. I try not to let that influence me as much, because I know I want what's best for overall. Like, and EHEX going up 100,000x and PX going up 10x. That doesn't strike me as good for PulseChain, for example. It strikes me as great for, like, if I had that bag and everyone else who had that bag, but it doesn't strike me as being the best thing for PulseChain. I'd much rather like PulseChain go up 10,000x, and EHEX is like, yeah, EHEX is like bypassing its all-time highs and all that stuff as well. And it's fun. It's a great story. It's great marketing, but it is that thing. Like, it isn't HEX to me. It is the HEX on Ethereum. That's my personal opinion. How's it going, Mark G? Welcome. Win bull market, maybe next year in Trump. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are looking at. I think in the next few months, I mean, it definitely seems like a easing environment. They get some more rate cuts and stuff. So I think that could be really good for crypto. And I don't know, like, if things like the new Fed chair, and if they start really pumping things up on the economy, that could be, it almost feels toppish to me. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if after, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a really good bull run, somewhere around Christmas to into next year. And then after the Fed, like, that's the top. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not making any predictions, financial advice, obviously. I'm just like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, all right, now we got the tightening in, and it's like, oh, that was the top. And then things just kind of keep quietly, probably not catastrophically, hopefully not catastrophically, but like quietly going like, all right, that's, yeah. We'll be surprised if that's a top signal. Maybe a little bit after that, but 2026, let's go. Maybe into 2025, I like to see some pumps too. What happened to HEX? Yeah, I should get to the post, shouldn't I? I've been spending a lot of time on chat. How's it going, HEX? Michelle, Fast and Bill's here for the chat. Sorry, I got to scroll. Can't answer all the questions. You guys are awesome, though. A lot of great chat. The match is almost struck. Let's go. I want to see that. I want to see that match striking. So let's get in. Let's get Hexy. So, by the way, if you haven't seen PulseChain stats, I've been covering some PulseChain stats, and they've been doing a great job as well at just making a really good stat side. And we've got a lot of great ones, PLS charts and everything else. A lot of great stat sites out there. Apparently, they made a Richard Hart page, which I haven't seen this yet, which is pretty cool. So that's nice. That's nice. It's always good to have more content showing people the positive stuff rather than just the scam. Don't take any time to look further into it. No, scam. It's nice to see more of that. So that's pretty cool. But that's just the Richard Hart page. If you go to PulseChain, I'll put it in the chat. PulseChainStats.com. You can see a ton. Oh, great. What do you know? PulseChain stats, PulseX stats, some stuff that, I haven't seen a lot of other sites come up with, or at least display like this yet. So daily fees, you got the buy and burn. I said that. I'm on the wrong page. PLSX stats. Yeah, burn stats. A lot of cool things there. So pretty cool. All right. All right. Appreciate you all chat, but let's go to Altcoin Daily. We never go there. I do watch their videos, like and I was clipping them talking about the strategic ETH treasury, and they keep showing PulseChain. And so I do watch their stuff to look at like what's going on in broader crypto. They make some like 10-minute videos and stuff like that. Let's scroll down a little bit. Let's see. Oh, what is this? Richard Hart beat the SEC. ... Why is HEX like it is? Very well, very like neutralish one. So I like the way, they were just like, they were curious. They weren't saying, why is the HEX down 99%? They were just kind of curious with the way they talked about it here. So let's see. So why, Richard, let's see, why is HEX like it is? And I thought that is a fair question. Like why, you could read a lot into that, right? You could say, okay, why is the price down? Why is the community sentiment not as positive as it could be? You could say, why, let's see, man, fully. So yeah, it's like big as possible. Okay. By the way, the stats on this one, 62K views, which if you scroll on the page, you can see it's like a lot more views than a lot of other stuff. And almost 1,000 likes. So yeah, why is the price the way it is? Why is the community sentiment down? A lot of different ways you could look at this. And one of the first thing I would say is, it is a complicated question. Beating the SEC was kind of this, I guess you could say it was, well, could you say it was priced in because didn't HEX pump a little bit after that? Not that it wasn't priced in, but it was just like, okay, this is kind of like one layer to pull back. One layer, one more battle, one more thing we need to get through before we can like start operating, like before the FUD goes away type of deal. SC is one thing, but we still had Interpol at the same time, which is just dumb. So hopefully that'll go away. I've talked about before all the different ways Interpol go away, all that stuff as well. But yeah, beating SEC was very underrated, but also very, how to say it, like the effects of that I think will be more long-term than short-term. I don't know why everyone was, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, you should settle and do all these things. I was like, yeah, we should win. Like you don't hire, and even Nuclear Herb's talking about, you don't hire that many lawyers to just settle. This is that we're going for the win. And we won fair and square. And a lot of people say, okay, all kinds of people, beat the SEC. No. Not a lot of people beat the SEC outright. The SEC may dismiss cases against them, but this is the judge dismissed the case. I mean, even Ripple, XRP, reached a settlement. You got Coinbase. Did they drop the case against Coinbase? Maybe. Binance, all this stuff. Point me to another case where the SEC lost in court completely, because they did. Because of two reasons. One, no jurisdiction, and the other that keeps going under the radar, which was there's like no case. There's like, they couldn't find any wrongdoing. I forget how it was phrased, but like it was like no, there's nothing to look at. There's no, they didn't find anything that they could like go forward with. So they dismissed it. SEC didn't appeal. Again, court dismissed it. So this is, again, invaluable to long-term investors. And everyone nervous about a short-term, they could have already been all in too. So this is something that to point at for onboarding and stuff, in case it comes up. Yes, there was an SEC case. It got dismissed by the judge. And you could say that these products, HEX, PulseChain, PulseX, have some sort of legal clarity, whether it's actual or metaphorical or philosophical, I guess, that almost no other cryptocurrencies have. Like, went through the ringer, made it out the other side with victory. Amazing. So I think that's strength. That's persistence. That's not giving up. And I really like that. And I think that doesn't really, again, that's more of a long-term thing. And crypto is not rallying around SEC, or sorry, not rallying around Richard because they don't like Richard for this reason or that reason or whatever it is. But the fact that he did that, I think it's going to pay dividends in the future for, when he does come back, or when we do get some kind of bull run, we start doing multiples, then we could say, hey, our founder beat the SEC. Did your founder beat the SEC? No, didn't happen. So I don't think that was supposed to have a long-term impact the way that it did. And again, I think it plays into like why HEX is the way it is. It's another point of being able to onboard people. Nobody, if you're broke, it's very hard for you to buy crypto. The macro conditions that enable people to be interested in risk on assets and have the ability to actually purchase them with extra money has not existed for a long time. A lot of the run-ups and stuff we've seen for Bitcoin and Ethereum and all this stuff, where have they came from? Do you think they came from retail? Where's retail? Or have they came from institutions and strategic funds and all this stuff buying it up? So everyone wants the retail rally, and I especially think HEX is going to benefit from the retail rally, but where is it? We haven't seen it. I hope to see it soon, but we haven't seen it. Unless you got Tom Lee setting up a HEX strategic reserve, which too much. They're telling me he hasn't done that yet. If he ever does that, then in this kind of environment, then that would make sense. The HEX would be a little bit better than it is right now as far as price-wise. But it's low liquidity. It's just waiting for people to ape in. And it hasn't happened yet because the institutions aren't buying it as of now. And the retail aren't buying it as of now. So you could call this an accumulation phase, a great place to DCA. You could call all those things if you believe the price will go up a lot in the future, which, of course, a lot of people think it will. So there's that piece. And the other one is there's no big influencers like big crypto. There's no big crypto influencers who want to say nice things about HEX because what benefit do they have? Why would they say nice things about HEX? Why wouldn't they say nice things about everything they're being paid to talk about, they're being sponsored by people are telling them to talk about whatever the new meme coin of the day is, or the new project that came out that has the VC backing and the partnerships and relations, like all this? Why would they talk about HEX? I'm not saying they won't ever talk about HEX again, but why wouldn't they ever say anything nice about HEX? Well, because saying bad things about HEX, they got plenty of people who like that. They'll get plenty of engagement from saying bad things or neutral things or whatever. What engagement would they get if they said, buy HEX, trust me? What would they get? They would alienate probably half of everyone following them, and half of those people who would be alienated would only not like it because one half of them would go be like, oh, I know HEX. You've already said that was a scam. Why would I buy it now? What's changed? So they'd be like, that's weird. And the other half of those people, of the half who were alienated, would go look up at a price chart and be like, why are you telling me to buy this thing that's been sideways or down for a while? Why would you tell it? Which one? Which one should I buy? Which one? Show me. So why would they? There's no reason for any big influencer to say anything nice about HEX. There's no referral program for it. There used to be, when it first launched for the first year or so. There's no one's paying them to. Who knows if people will pay them in the future to do that? I don't know. But currently, they're not being paid to talk about HEX. Why would they shield stuff that they don't have a bag of that they can go dump later with? Or why would they forget it? Let's say they have the best intentions possible. Let's say they really want to get people into good crypto. Why would they shield anything that they can't directly make dollars on? That ain't HEX. We don't play that game. That's not the game that's being played. We're playing an entirely different game. We're trying to get people into real DeFi, trying to get people into ecosystem where they can build and delay gratification and put their money, get their money off exchanges, and a place where they can participate and PulseChain, all the protocol. We're playing a different game. We're not playing this retail, hey, here's a ticker, get in early, hope the VCs, we're not playing that game. So why would they promote HEX when there's nothing, until there's something for them to gain from it? If HEX starts getting green candles, you never know when some of them might wake up and be like, wow, I should buy some of this, and then tell people about it. Today is not that day. So that's another reason why HEX is the way it is as of now. Another piece is PulseChain hasn't taken off yet. When PulseChain takes off, what do you think people will be buying? They'll be buying a lot of the most popular tickers on PulseChain. What are some of the most popular tickers? The core coins. Of course, they need gas. They may want a piece of the casino type thing. They may want they may like to buy and burn with PulseX. They may speculate on ink. And they may want some sort of thing that may resemble more of a store of value at some point, where you can earn more of the token by burning and minting them back yourself over time for a certain amount with the principal and the yield called HEX. And there may be a bunch of other stuff they want to buy too, but those, the ones that have the most volume, the most liquidity, all those things that you look at on your standard crypto market cap site, all those things, they're going to be looking at that stuff and saying, oh, these look like winners to me. HEX is going to be right there, hopefully doing very, very well. And another piece, I mean, I guess I think the biggest piece to just keep going back to is people, like we need people to know about a thing for them to buy it. We have a huge community. A lot of people, I imagine, have been DCAing. They've been exiting. They've been waiting. They've been holding. They've been staking. They've been keeping it liquid. They've been making decisions about their bags and what they want to do in the ecosystem. Everyone here, probably everyone listening, hopefully there's a few people who knew today, but most of you listening right now, you're already in, right? You've probably put a lot of the capital, a lot of the time, a lot of the energy that you've had into this product already. And you're waiting for an ROI. Maybe you're waiting for motivation to do more or buy more or otherwise. We need to onboard more than just us. And I do a lot of content for the community. I try to, I've got different things that I do, that I try to do outreach and support different things that will help onboard and grow our brand. I love the marketing thing that's happening right now with the tablets. I think that's amazing. I think hopefully we'll start seeing some ROI come in from that. New people come in. We've already seen a lot of great posts and interactions and stuff like that. Those are the things that is going to build the next version of Hexco. The new people coming in that we need to educate and show how to use these products and take control of their money. And hopefully they'll buy it when it's really low. Hopefully we'll be onboarding so many more people when the price is low, like you could point to and say today that it is. If you believe it's going to go, 100x, 1000x higher, you could look at it today and be like, wow, if I think it's going to go that far and it's this far, then that looks undervalued. If onboard people at the lows, they can experience and do whatever they want with the coins they acquire at that point, when and if they go much higher. So I hope we onboard lots and lots of people sub-penny HEX, and then it goes much higher. So we can give people the confidence, just as we got, for example, just as I got when I saw this thing launch. And it took some time. And when Richard first launched it, I wasn't that confident. I was like, Richard, literally, I was like trying to hedge myself. I'm like, Richard's, he's a smart guy, but he's never been a founder before. Like, how's this going to work? I wasn't like, I was just watching the experiment unfold itself. And yeah, that's probably the last time I'll ever doubt Richard Hart. I'm like, man, you blew HEX out of the water. Let's go PulseChain. And I think the plans, just by nature of it being PulseChain and being an L1 instead of our ERC20, are going to be much bigger and much more awesome in so many different ways. So onboarding, we're doing it. We're putting in effort. Things are getting built. new sites, new onboarding methods, new campaigns and communities, and all this stuff is happening, but it takes time, and we haven't grew enough for it to reflect in the price yet, or reflect in the sentiment yet, for example. So I think that's a few of the points that I want to make. And again, just going back to the ability for HEX to do great is it's up to the community. Again, I'm not waiting on Richard to make this place great. I hope that he helps, and I appreciate him doing what he can for the community, just as he used to live stream and do all this stuff before. But it really is up to us. So let's do it. Like you do the work. It's the most powerful phrase. One of the most powerful phrases I've ever seen in my life. And I believe it'll pay off. That's where I'm placing my bets. So there's no guarantees in anything, but I can place my bets where I think they'll pay off the best. And I think that's here. Even the thick and thin, boy, we've had some thick. We've had some thick. So hopefully good times ahead. So one other thing I want to show. Let's go to hexcalc.net. Wrap up here in a minute. So I can't get to everything in the chat, but appreciate you all. I just want to get through a few things before I go on with the day. If we look at the PX, so we're going PX here. I always like to do 1 million. We'll do it for, let's just do like 500 days. So price prediction, they'll keep it as it is. That's what it is today, around 0.007, right under a penny. Calculate, you stake it, stake it for, what's that, year and a half. You got these amount of T shares, and you earn this much more, right? So, oh, you get the longer pays better bonus. Okay, cool. So you earn, is that right? 1 million. Effective HEX. Why does it pay? Yeah, that payout looks bigger. Should be that much. Should be this much. 23,000. That would be around 2%. Am I looking at this wrong? Mining bonuses. Yeah, why is this number not matching up? Am I looking at this differently? Because this number looks around, 2% or so. This number looks like 20%. We back to 20, 30% APY, 38% APY. Am I looking at this wrong? Effective HEX, those principles. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyways, total payout should be around this much. So that is only $167. So you're like, why would I stake $7,000 to earn $167 over a year and a half? Like, let's just do 365. Why would I wait a year to earn $115? Right? Like, that's not very compelling. If you believe the price is not going to move up, believe the price is going to move down, that's different too. But if you don't believe the price is going to move up, so 10x, 1 year staking. All of a sudden, instead of waiting a year on $115, you're waiting a year on $1,000, $1,100. If the price is 10x, let's do 100x. Let's do 70 cents. Now all of a sudden you're waiting a year, and you're getting back 11,000. Not just 11,000. Sorry, in the previous one too is much more. We're talking about the amount of yield. The amount of yield goes way up because the HEX price went way up. So you spent $7,000 and you locked it up for a year. And when you mint your rewards, you're getting 700. If it does 100x, getting $700,000 back with $11,000 rewards. That's the power of price appreciation. That's why this is so different than like a CD at the bank and all this stuff, right? You get CD at the bank, the price don't change. CD at the bank looks more like this, right? Just the price. The price doesn't change. Actually, you could even go down. It would even, to be more accurate with inflation stuff, you're just, if like you're trying to just make inflation, you're trying to like make up for inflation when you're getting yield, that little yield on your assets. So 1.5%, if inflation is 3 or 4%, you know, not even making that. But this is the difference in locking your money up in an asset that doesn't change, or currency, for example, in the dollar, where it's not going to change no matter if you do 15 years. Like, look at this. Even if you get, well, that's pretty ROI. How'd that ROI jump to 82%? Was that just with the bonuses? Okay. So even if it jumps that much, yeah, you're earning some, but like that's after 15 years. Pretending this is like a regular CD. Sorry, I don't know why these numbers look a little off to me, but maybe I'm just reading it wrong. I think these would match up a little bit more, but maybe whatever. It's morning. So, but if you think the price is going to go up 100x in 15 years, bank, right? You say bank. Even with the T-share, at the payout, even with the daily payout being 1.6 hex per T-share instead of the 7, 8, 9, which it was before. Still bank. Pretty good. So if you believe the price is going to go up, the inflation that, or the yield you get from HEX staking makes a lot more sense. If you think it's going to stay the same, that's the thing. So that's why I think it's misleading when it's like, oh, why would you stake today? Well, the people who stake today believe the prices are going to go up. Like that's probably their calculation they're making, right? So the price today can be deceiving if you're factoring that in what you think it's going to be today. Then if you're factoring in the price isn't going to move, then yeah, why would you wait that long for that much? But if you think the price is going to move, look at that, could be making a lot more. So we hope the price is going to go up. You know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, they all went way down over periods of time, especially when they were early. HEX is, 5 years old. Bitcoin's what, 15 years old? Ethereum's 10 years old. PulseChain hasn't even hit its first bull run yet. So I don't think I'm going to give up on a new ecosystem that has carried over a lot of very loyal and just like freedom hungry, mad gains aligned people after 2 years because it hasn't hit its bull run yet. I think it will, and I'm excited for glory. So that's what I think. Hope you're all doing well out there. That's all I got for you today. Scivive and 5555. We are out. This is RHMax coming at you with a message for all the crypto space out there. We want true DeFi, no admin keys. Get rich slow, wait, and you shall receive. See, trustlessly, just pay the gas, be no trustee. You do the work, you hold the keys, you buy because you believe. UHNW, I live free. Choosing healthy games keeps me feeling complete. You see, you look around, there's nothing better to believe, to hope for, to put your money where your dreams are, to watch it multiply by yourself, time to figure out who you want to be. But first break free from the NPC society. Richard's in it for glory, in it to win it. Nothing's gonna stop my HEX gang, stand up. PulseChain's the big pump of middle. Remember where it came from. Delayed gratification, inversion, power law, distribution. If compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world, what's that make HEX then? Number 9, number 1. If you're hearing this, you're still early. Can you hear me? If you're hearing this, there's still hope. You are in. Richard minting millionaires like the Federal Reserve, except we make the rules so we get out what we put in. Plus interest. This man is on a mission, work really is play. Hexings are his posse, he will show us all the way. Red Bull sponsorship is coming out the way. Outrage market is effective and okay. HEX, PulseX, Flex, Tex-Mex. Which one do you like best? Which one can't you forget? Which one you having next? Name me something better than own your own time. Generational wealth, do it now, it's game time. Richard's in it for glory, in it to win it. Nothing's gonna stop my HEX gang, stand up.
PulseChain's the big pump of metal. Remember where it came from? Delayed gratification, inversion, power law, distribution. If compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world, what's that make HEX then?
Number 9, number 1.
If you're hearing this, you're still early.
Can you hear me?
If you're hearing this, there's still hope.
You are in.
Richard minting millionaires like the Federal Reserve, except we make the rules so we get out what we put in.
Plus
38% APY. No IOUs, only 6-figure ACHs. Maximus Hedron locking tons of T-shares. Positive feedback loops make us go next level. PulseChain is the pump of metal. Tech and price performance means the X's will be several. Richard's in it for glory, in it to win it. Nothing's gonna stop my HEX gang, stand up! PulseChain's the big pump of metal. Remember where it came from? Delayed gratification, inversion, power law, distribution. If compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world, what's that make HEX then?
Number 9, number 1.
If you're hearing this, you're still early.
Can you hear me?
If you're hearing this, there's still hope.
You are in.
Richard minting millionaires like the Federal Reserve, except we make the rules so we get out what we put in.
Plus
Stick it to you, make it Scivive. I ain't just talking. You have all you need in front of you. Difference between a Lambo and just walking. Fixing money, fix the world. Best version of yourself, wise, extend your prime. Survive, no better yet, thrive. Crypto's how you get to the how and why. Richard ain't a god, but he's got the twerk of an angel.
That's great.
RH maximalism is the name of the game. Play it to win or don't play in the first place.